Hello folks, and welcome to the second video in my FIFA 12 Manual Controls Tips and Tricks video series. If you have come here from the introduction, then that is fantastic, because you're obviously keen to learn more about manual controls. If you haven't seen the introduction, I recommend you go and watch that before you watch this video. The link for that is provided in the description below. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain how you can set up manual controls on your game, and I'm going to go through some of the options for playing online using manual controls. So to start with, I'll just show you how to set them up. If we start in the arena, there are three ways of doing this. The first one I'm going to show you is by going to the Customize FIFA tab, which you can see here. If you go to Settings, Controls, and then Xbox 360 controller or whatever is relevant for your console, you will come to a menu something like this. You can see there are all kinds of different options, pass assistance, through pass assistance, etc, etc. What you can do is change some of these options. As you see at the minute, it is set to assisted. I can change this to manual. Similarly, I can change through pass assistance to manual, shot assistance to manual, so on and so forth. That is one way of changing things to manual. Another way of changing things to manual is if we go to the screen where you start a match. So when you've got the team sheets lined up, as you can see here, there is an option at the bottom. If you go to Xbox 360 controller, then you are able to get the same menu up that we had before. So you can go to this menu here, the Xbox 360 controller menu, before a kickoff match. You can do this in career mode, or you can do this in Ultimate Team. And the other way of doing it is if you go to the Xbox Live tab or equivalent, head-to-head seasons, play season match, and then when you have got the team screen up, you can see at the bottom you've got the same button, Xbox 360 controller settings. If you go on that, you get the same menu as we had before. Now, all of my videos from now on are going to be talking about what are called full manual controls. As you can see here, at the minute I've got some things set to manual. What I'm going to do at the minute is I'm going to set everything to manual, or to the equivalent setting for full manual controls. So what exactly do I mean by full manual controls? Basically I mean making every single setting manual, so that you have complete control over what's going on. If I go to the online settings tab here, when you're selecting a head-to-head seasons match, you can see that at the top we have a controls button which is set to any at the minute. What you can do is you can change this to manual. Now when you select manual on this, you'll see at the bottom the Xbox 360 controller settings is now greyed out. This is because if you select the manual option, it forces both you and your opponent to use full manual controls against each other, which is the settings that I had up before. Of course, what you can do if you want to is you can set it to any and still use all of the full manual controls that you can see here. You're perfectly entitled to do that, there's no harm whatsoever in doing that, but if you want to make sure that you play against another player using full manual controls, you go to the online settings tab and you select manual. Now obviously, given that there is a whole separate search for manual, we actually have been given a new leaderboard. If you go to the leaderboard's top 100, you can see here there is a manual only tab. This lists all of the matches for manual, and every single match that's listed on this leaderboard has been played by someone who has used the manual filter search. So both players in the matches that are played have to be using full manual controls. That's just one cool feature that was added to FIFA 12, which I don't think was in FIFA 11, I honestly can't remember. But that is how you set up manual controls on your game. Now, if you want to learn a bit more about manual, I very much recommend that you watch the next video in the series, where I'm going to go over some of the differences between manual controls and the default settings, and I'm also going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of manual controls. I very much recommend you watch that video before you give manual controls a go, and then after that you should be ready to get rolling. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it was useful. I hope to see you in the next one as well. Thanks for now, and play manual.